Shane, thanks so much for playing this duet with me.
Thanks
today.
for having me. And thanks for writing the song.
Absolutely. So for those of you who don't know, Shane didn't get a lot of time on this one, but I was kind of busy, so I just wrote it, sent it to him yesterday, and I know he's gonna do great. He's awesome player.
It's funky. It's got the funky licks in it, some of the brass band stuff, so hopefully,
I thought it'd be a good fit for him.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be comfy.
It's gonna be great. Something you all should know about Shane Cox, ever since he moved to town, I was like, I have to play with this guy, a duet with him. I've been playing with him in a bunch of bands. He worked in the scene really quickly. If you don't know, you should check out his channel.
The Funky Spud.
The Funky Spud, also the name of this duet.
I have a YouTube. I do a lot of Twitch streaming. That's really one of my favorite things to do online right now.
And it's pretty engaging. He's actually had a couple of us over at his house to do his Twitch stream before. It was pretty fun. It's a good time.
Absolutely.
Something you should know about Shane, multi-brass instrumentalist, can play salsa lead trumpet, also rips on sousaphone and trombone, which you're about to hear. So, incredible musician, nice guy. Let's talk about that name, the Funky Spud. Where'd that come from?
So I'm from Idaho, and we grow a lot of potatoes out there. That's where I was learning how to play, went to high school, but when I turned 18, I really wanted to move to a big city. So I bought a car with my college fund, drove to New Orleans, didn't know anybody, but started playing on the street with the street brass bands there. I think I might be the only guy from Idaho to ever do that. So they gave me the name Spud, being, the guy from Idaho, and I'm funky. So thought it fit. I didn't actually add funky to the whole thing until later on when I started my own band in California, and it became my internet username. So that's when I became the Funky Spud.
So as I said before, Shane plays a bunch of different instruments. He's a multi-brass instrumentalist. A lot of us musicians in town that are brass players aspire to play many different instruments, but Shane takes it to another level. Shane, do you want to just tell us a little bit about what brought you on that journey?
Yeah, I started on trombone in 6th grade, just beginning band like everybody else, and I took to it pretty quickly, but it wasn't what made me fall in love with music. I thought I was going to be a rock star, so I was playing guitar in my teen years. And then when I started playing in my first live bands, it was reggae band and some Afro funk actually. And I realized that trombone was so useful for getting hired and working as a young kid. And then those bands kind of needed trumpet players. There wasn't a lot of trumpet players in Boise, so I just was excited. I didn't know anything about the challenges of trumpet. I never took any lessons, but I was really excited about it. And oh man, it's pretty difficult. It's a hard instrument. It was really hard getting over that hump of being able to play two different brass instruments was really quite a challenge. And then, very similar thing where I was playing in a brass band and they needed a tuba player. And the first time that happened was in New Orleans. They didn't have a tuba player, and so I had a tuba and I gave it my best shot and was puffing my cheeks the whole time. They were all torn and sore, and I couldn't play anything for 2 weeks. So that was my first go at the big one. But yeah, I feel like I'm too deep. I can't give any of them up. It is a challenge, keeping them all up, but every day I'm at it, just trying to refine my technique and just keep all of them feeling good.
It's fantastic. Do you find, so for me personally, trumpet, wildly hard compared to playing sousaphone. Sousaphone was a really easy step. I mean, I played bass trombone and euphonium too, but that step to sousaphone was a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
Same for you?
Oh yeah, I think other than that first time where I was in New Orleans playing loud, messed everything up. Yeah. But after that, sousaphone felt like I was born to play it. I could play everything I could think of within the first couple weeks of playing the sousaphone. It felt like a very natural addition. Yeah. Speaking to trumpet though, oh man. There's a Dizzy Gillespie quote that I just love where he says, some days you wake up and you put the horn to your face and everything works and you win. And then some days you pick it up, you try, nothing works, and the horn wins. This goes on and on until eventually you die and the horn wins.
So true.
Yeah, trumpet's tough. I feel like the physical part of playing trumpet is the uniquely difficult thing about it. What I will say, though, is a lot of trumpet players that try to pick up trombone have a really hard time with that slide. So that's not something to take for granted. Like, that is uniquely difficult about trombone, and I just think maybe once you get enough time on it, you don't think about it as much. It feels natural, but it's weird what we're trying to do there. Yeah.
I always think that's the hardest one for like beginning band kids, brass instrument wise.
Yeah.
You have like the violin problem of putting, a slide. You're not pressing down a button. You're just finding the note by ear and relative where it is to the bell.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you have the brass player problem with the partials, where you're trying to make sure you're hearing the right note on the same partial.
Exactly.
It's a tough instrument.
Yeah. No, that's why if I could do it all over again, I would do it the same way. I would start with trombone and then go through the whole trumpet problem later, because I feel like learning that slide while you're learning music in general feels less of a mountain to climb, because everything's hard. So you're learning the slide, you're learning what music is. It's a good way to do it.
So since we're talking about you playing multiple brass instruments and your journey, do you have any advice for maybe some aspiring multi-brass instrumentalists out there?
Yeah, there's a big debate about whether it's even good for you to try doubling. My band director very much discouraged me from playing trumpet. Like, I played trumpet behind his back, and anytime he saw me like practicing in the band room, he was like, put that thing away. So what I will say is he was kind of right in a way, in that if you don't have time to dedicate to two different instruments as if they're each your primary, one will suffer pretty heavily. And like, for instance, if you're playing trombone and you're a player that likes to play loud and you run through your chops and sometimes your lips get inflamed, but it's all good because you take a little break, you come back. That kind of thing doesn't translate well when you're trying to put a trumpet mouthpiece on your lips. So I've found that I've had to even change just my general technique on instruments that I already knew to accommodate for the fact that I will be switching mouthpiece sizes. It's a huge hurdle. The thing that helped me start thinking about it was really giving each instrument the time to be my primary. My practice time and my time spending on the horn, just really focusing on taking good breaths, staying relaxed. It's a lot of time. Like, there's no way around it. So just be patient with yourself, take it slow, focus on being really efficient with your breaths, practice quietly, and make sure that you're always building up and not tearing down. Sometimes as brass players, we get so excited to play, and what we end up doing is actually scarring or like causing our lips to become inflamed in some way, just with our excitement. And so, as much as you can when you're in the practice room, establish habits of staying relaxed and being efficient.
So it kind of sounds like you have a lot to say in the subject, and you might be putting something out there someday.
Yeah, I should make a video about this. I'll make a video soon just talking about this, because it's hotly debated, but as a teacher, I spend a lot of time helping young trumpet players be less tense, or helping young trombone players find the right focus in their sound. And I think a lot about this, and it's an important thing to consider if you're going to try to play multiple brass instruments. So yeah, I'll make a video on it soon.
I'm going to do a quick shout out since we're talking about the Funky Spud and funk music. I'm wearing my Funk Friday 150 shirt. As a quick shout out to St. Paul Peterson for all the great music and content he's putting out with great featured guests. Check him out. So you're releasing tons of great music. I'm excited to have you on this. I've played on a couple of your things. Do you want to talk about maybe some of your projects, things you have coming up?
Yeah, Funky Spuds is releasing a couple songs this year, and so that's me playing sousaphone. It's like funk trio stuff. So we got an awesome drummer, Pete Sutman, and David Feely on guitar, and they're Minneapolis staples. Really awesome guys. And then we just started a brass band, so we're gonna release some brass band tunes together. I think we're tentatively gonna call it Spud Brass Band, I believe. And a bunch of guys from the area that made arrangements. You made a really awesome arrangement. I'm so excited to talk about it, but I think we're gonna keep it a secret for now. So stay tuned for that. That'll be within the next few months. I mean, it's coming along.
Yeah. Thanks again for coming out today. What do you say we go record this tune?
Let's do it.
All right.